Hello and a very warm welcome back to Hugh's Nursery. It's actually a change of scene for you today. I'm not in the garden because I haven't been home for a couple of weeks now. So I thought, why don't I film in the art block at my college? And in this video, I want to talk about why I'm transitioning towards more permaculture style growing in my garden. But before we do that, seeming as we're in the art block, I might as well show you some of my art. So I've just been doing my AS levels in art, so it's basically half an A level. And one of the aims that I was looking at was to explore different artists and see how buildings and landscapes work together in Wales. So I'd go around just taking lots of photos and just experimenting with lots of different media. So this is pen and charcoal. I haven't shown you, this is just a little snapshot of some of the stuff I've been working on in my book. So yeah, just trying out loads of different things like acrylics, watercolours, charcoal, and then I moved on to bigger scale. I don't have the final piece with me because that is up on display, but yeah, that's just a very quick example of my art. So anyway, back to what we were going to do. So I've been growing food since I was about 3 years old, and the last couple of years I've really focused on looking at the most sustainable and organic ways that we can grow and produce our food. And a couple of years ago I first discovered permaculture. For example, I watched a lot of videos by Jeff Lawton and some documentaries such as Greening the Deserts. And I was absolutely inspired, to say the very least, about how this system looked. So basically permaculture is something where you look at how nature works, such as a woodland, and then how we can design a way of living inspired by how nature works. So for example, with a woodland, you have a huge ecosystem there. You have the main canopy trees, and then you have a underlayer, and then you have the ground, and then the soil. So for example, you'll then create a forest garden, which is based off nature of a woodland. So it's things that work together, but we create a system for us that is both really sustainable but also produces something for us, so high crops, or maybe looking after pollinating insects. So permaculture not only is about being sustainable, but it's also about being regenerative. So we're regenerating old things, old unsustainable things, and turning them into sustainable systems of living. And I've been reading many books about it. There are a lot of channels on YouTube that are very inspirational. One that stands out and a lot of you watch is Patrick Dolan's 1 Yard Revolution. You notice with permaculture, it's a lot more. There's a lot more influence on the care for soil, such as no-dig gardening and looking after the soil and mulching. So that's really interesting. It's also not having a monoculture. So a monoculture is, say, a field full of wheat, but it's creating a polyculture. And permaculture stands for permanent agriculture, so it's there for a reason and to sustain itself for a long period of time. Another channel is the Permaculture Homestead. Definitely check his channel out, very inspiring. And then also for other things, just search on YouTube for permaculture documentaries, watch Jeff Lawton. There are lots of information. So basically, I've been inspired by what's been done, and the plan is now to go on a permaculture design course. So it's about a 70 to 90 hour course, which I'm hoping to do this coming Easter. And then what I want to do is really focus on how we can turn our vegetable garden. And I am doing some permaculture things at the moment, such as building the lazy bed, and using a lot more mulching. But I really want to look at how I can design things so they're really productive. And at the moment, I'm one of the members of our local permaculture group, which is the Lampeter Permaculture Group, which is actually one of the oldest permaculture groups in Britain. And there are permaculture groups and bases all over the world. And what I've seen from it, and another great channel actually just sprung to mind is Happen Films. He's worked really hard at creating beautiful documentaries such as A Simpler Way, which is looking at possible crises and how living simply isn't actually that difficult, and it was really inspiring. So I've been reading lots of books and I've been really inspired, and think it's the best way forward especially for just small scale food production, but also large scale food production, and there's a lot of research going into that. So that's why I'm going to be looking a lot more at permaculture, and it's just something new, something which I feel very strongly for. Now, this is something I haven't shared with any of you as of today, but the whole goal behind what I'm trying to do is to promote local food, promote sustainability, and reconnecting communities with what proper food is. For example, I've started a school vegetable garden, and I'll be doing a tour of that at some point in the summer, which is really exciting. And I've been teaching younger children how they can grow their own food. But my main goal and my main ambition is to do a few tours around the world, filming loads of great permaculture farms and gardens and locations, just to create a series of inspiration. And then at the end of that, I'm going to do a crowdfunding campaign to buy some land and create my own permaculture farm, which I want to basically act as a way for anyone can just come for inspiration, can do workshops, be a place for woofers to do internship, but to just create a permaculture farm which really shows what is possible and the amazing benefits of permaculture, so anyone can come and receive a lot of inspiration. And it's also something I want to actually do for myself. I want to live sustainably, be as good as possible for the environment, and produce as much food as possible. And there's so many exciting opportunities, and I really think it's something where if we all work together, then that's the best way we can move forward. So it's a completely different video for you today, I understand that, but I thought it was a good idea just to tell you about why I'm moving more towards permaculture and some of the ideas and goals that I want to have. And then next week, actually it's school holidays. Today I passed my driving test, so I can go visit a load of cool places in Britain now. I've got quite a few lined up, which is really exciting. But there's so much going to be happening, so stay tuned for that. If you have any questions or anything you want to know, please just list them down below in the comment section. I try to answer to as many as possible, and now I've got a bit more free time because it's about to be the holidays. So I hope you're all keeping well, and I'll see you again next Friday. Goodbye.